What's up, all Power Ass crew? Today we're doing motor mounts, engine mounts, whatever you want to call it. But what I can tell you, they're supposed to look like this, not like this. Yeah, that's not good. Last time I was out wheeling, my engine went thumpity thumpity thumpity. Now I know why. Let's show you how it's done. This video right here was kind of a request from one of my subscribers and my buddy George. He asked me, hey, yo, Chuck, you got a video about changing engine mounts in a YJ? I was like, no, actually I don't. But ironically, I have a brand new set of engine mounts. My buddy Jeremy gave them to me a while back. I said, you know what? I could do a video with those. Then George hit me up and said, yo, you got a video? And I'm like, hey, the stars aligned. Let's create a video. But you may question, why would Jeremy give me his engine mounts if he could use them in his 1993 YJ? Very good question. Well, you see, he was doing a frame-off restoration on his 1993 YJ, and he went a completely different direction. He was going to put his 4.0 back in, but he went a completely different direction. As a matter of fact, he's got a little turbo diesel in that YJ, and it is such a sweet build. If you guys haven't seen that build on my channel, go check it out. I'll link it up down below, and toward the end of the video I'll do a little pop-up card. You guys go check it out. It's honestly probably one of the cleanest builds I've ever seen. It's such a sweet rig. It drives so good. Go check it out after this video. So let's get on with it. Let's change some motor mounts. So go ahead and get everything loosened up. 18 millimeter both ends, 15 millimeter here. You've got another one on the bottom, but you got to access it from the ground up. And I just want to point out something because people freak out over this. You see that gap right there? Don't stress over that, because I've seen people get on this thing right here and just crank the snot out of it trying to close up that gap, and you end up breaking your mount. So just because there's a little gap right there, don't worry about it. It's just fine. So I've got this right here. I mean, it's literally just on there by a couple threads just to keep me from misplacing it. This is only in there by a couple threads. To loosen up your motor mount and get that nut all the way off before you take the weight off the mount, because it makes life a lot easier, because oftentimes the weight of the engine sitting down on the mount would hold this bolt in place. Otherwise you'll have to have a wrench on one side and your ratchet on the other side. So it helps a lot. Just go ahead and get it broken loose and everything set up and ready to go. So whenever you take the weight off the mount, here in a little bit we'll put a jack under the engine. We'll just barely just subtly pick up on it just enough. We'll be able to take this bolt out, remove the mount, and swap it out. Buried way down deep in the abyss on the driver's side. Yeah, you gotta get to that one next. But to make life easier on you, take out the air box. Way easier. So take this, if it's loose enough, push it off. And you've got a clip right here. Unsnap it, unhook it. You've got a clip right here. Unsnap it, unhook it. And then you got this hose here. Work it off there. And then you got this one. Work that off there. And I think we're about there. And my hook is a hooking down. The hook is a grabbing hooking down here. And this one's rubbing. Turn loose, homie. Yes. Ta-da. Well, it's not totally wide open, but you can see it right there. Definitely easier to get to. So just like the passenger side, just go ahead and get everything loosened up over there. Don't worry about going to take the nut on off and all that good fun stuff, just like the passenger side, because nothing's going to happen until you pick the block up a little bit, take the weight off the mount, and then you can remove the mount. But have everything prepped and ready, and have a good jack. Don't have a hydraulic jack that whenever you pick it up and it wants to bleed down. You want a good one that once you pick it up, it stays put. Because as soon as you get that up a little bit and you grab hold of that mount, pull one out, put the next one in, line it back up, bolt it up, good to go. Generally what I do is I'll break it loose with the ratchet, then I'll take the impact and back them on out. Yeah, I can hear all you seasoned mechanics now. If you get you a Milwaukee, you just use that and nothing else. So taking out the air box really gives you more access to that bolt that's right. You see the bottom of it right here. If I can turn it, nope, anyway, there's the bottom of that one, but you get the heads from the top. Here's the other one I was talking about. This one's actually a stud, so you just take off that nut right there. This bolt, this nut, the mount will lift right off that. But before you can do any of that, you got to take the weight of the engine off. And getting to the bolt that goes through the cast iron piece here, it's a lot easier getting in from the bottom. This whole bolt's turning right now, so I'm going to get a wrench on the back side right here, hold it, and go ahead and take that nut on off. I've still got this right here tight. And try to get where the sun isn't glaring it so bad. And this one right here is still tight. So I'm going to go ahead and finish taking this one right here out. That's the 18 millimeter. I'm not going to take the bolt out of the block yet because obviously I got to pick up the engine first. So I'm going to change out this mount right here first. This is the driver's side, because if there's any of them that's going to make you want to lose your mind, yeah, this will be the one. Try to fold that back a little bit because it's just bugging me. So I've got this bolt on top. I've got it taken completely out. The nut's off on this one. Over here on the driver's side, I've just got this right here threaded on, just a few turns. And as you can see, where's it at? I'll try to get the angle for you. Right there's the bolt that goes through everything here. The nut is still on that. And the bolt is still on top side. It's still in there, but it's threaded in a few turns. So this side right here, is no way it can come off any shape, form, or fashion. Now before we pull this mount, this right here is my O2 sensor, so I'll probably disconnect it, move it out of the way, because it's threaded up through my mount right there. Because whenever I get the weight off this, I want to be able to pick it up, take it out, put the new one in, and be done with it. So I'm trying to get all this junk out of my way, and I just plug it back here. I think, I need both hands. So here's what I've got set up. So I've got my small floor jack under here with me, and it's pretty much all it wants to reach up here. But I've got this 2x4 in between my oil pan and the jack pad here. That is not to give me my little bit extra space I need. That's to protect the oil pan, because these teeth on your jack pad right here tend to want to dent the oil pan. So if you put a board, and at least if you use a piece of plywood, go with at least 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, or something like that, to spread that weight out across your oil pan. Now you don't need to pick the engine up a lot. Only thing we need to do is pick it up just enough to take the weight off that mount. And so here's my jack handle. I've pretty much got it set to where I need about another maybe 1/2 stroke, full stroke, something like that, of what I can get underneath here. Now it should be enough to clear that thing. And I'm hoping from down here I can go ahead and push that bolt out. If I can do that from down here, I can pick that mount up, put the new one in, and start reassembling that one from under here. So now here comes the fun part of being a YouTuber that works on cars. I need to figure out a way to set up the tripod to capture my movement so you guys can see what's going on here, and the camera not be in my way. See how this works out. Well, my awesome viewers, guess what? I failed miserably, but to your benefit. You've got the perfect view. But that camera, I have no choice. It is all in my way. So, if you have to see my armpit at a time or two, all I got to say is at least you can't smell it, because it's hot out here and I stink. So I'm going to start picking the jack up a little bit. Okay, I put the engine moved just a shimmy bit. And guess what? I got to find me another 2x4, because this is literally all the jack's got. It ain't enough. Well, the dude over cutting grass actually paid off to y'all's benefit, because I've been laying underneath this thing for the past, I don't know, 20 minutes, waiting on him to quit cutting grass so you guys can actually hear me on camera, which is giving me time to figure out how to position this camera for you guys to get the shot of me changing that mount. It looks like that might just work out a little like that. So now I've got to go around the front of the Jeep and get to work to pulling that mount. So if you guys hear the lawnmower from here, you're just going to deal with it. So, yep, time to get to work. Just change that mount.
A few minutes later.
Oh, good Lord, this creeper's hot. Okay, so I need to put a little more pressure on the engine. I'm picking the jack up a little bit. Okay, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but that mount moved a little bit right there. So I moved the engine just a tiny little bit. Let's see if I can knock that bolt out of the mount now. So using a dead blow hammer, because of that soft face on it, you can hit the end of the bolt and knock it out and not damage the bolt any. If you use a regular hammer, it's liable to mushroom it and damage it. Oh, that's sweet. It came out, yes. Oh. There's the boat, there's the boat, there's the boat, boat. Can I get the mount out? Yes, I can. Look at you, and you take your new one. Come back in from the top. I feed between the ears of the cast iron mount on the block. And you better not be a pain in the tail. The difference between new mounts and old mounts will wore out. New mount, well, obviously not. It's not going in as easy. What have we got going on? Okay, on the ends right here, I've got a little bit of rubber built up. So I might have to clean that up a little bit before it's going to go in there easily. I literally used the concrete I'm laying on and scratched it off there. See if that worked. And now he's got the weed eater, so I don't know what to deal with it. So now I got to get that mount to come down enough to get the bolt to go through here. And it's got to come down a little bit more. It's getting closer. I may have to go up top and beat it. Get the hammer and knock it down a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna work that from the top because I can see pretty decent from up here where it needs to go. I had to jack the engine up a little bit more. So if it sounds like I'm yelling, I am because I'm yelling over a weed eater. I had to jack the engine up a little bit more because the old mount was absolutely shot. And so now this is gonna make the engine ride a little bit higher. So I gotta pick the engine up just a little bit more. And then I'm gonna wedge this mount down. The bolt is just about ready to go in. Okay, it just got a lot easier. What you guys cannot see me do from down there, what I'm doing, I'm taking the bolt, and just like if I was threading it into the block, I'm turning the bolt and it's screwing into the engine mount. And it should get to a point to where it gets to the smooth part of the bolt and slide in. So if I get my hammer down here and peck it. There we go. Oftentimes these new motor mounts, when they mold that rubber around everything, you get that residual rubber down inside the hole, and it makes them a little bit difficult to go into. Now you see right here, I don't know if you can see from the camera angle, to be honest with you, your fuel lines are right there, so be careful about those. There she goes. Almost there, yes. Yeah, it's going through the other side of the mount now. Alright, alright, alright. Alrighty, I'm back. And now, for the moment, I'm going to go ahead and put this on there. Okay, I've left about an 1/8 inch gap between the nut and the frame piece right here. I still got to get that bolt from the top down. I still got to get it in place. You don't want anything tight until you get all the bolts started. So, I'm going to go up top and get that top bolt started. And there we go, we got the top one lined up. And notice how I did it. We've got a ratchet strap run under the motor mount. It goes in right there, and you can see it coming out right here. So it's going under the bottom surface of the mount. And then I've got the other end hooked to my front bumper. So as I slowly cranked the ratchet strap down, it pulled that bolt hole in line. So now I can get that bolt started. Before I tighten it, I pull out my ratchet strap, and we're good to go. Check it out. Yeah, I think it was due. And now that I got the bolt started, pull the ratchet strap right out. And there you go, boo-boo. Only thing you got left to do is tighten it up. Now it can be argued either way that the way I did this can be right or it can be wrong. The discussion is if you're changing both mounts, driver and passenger side, and you loosen both sides, both driver and passenger side motor mounts, you loosen them both up before you get started. The argument is it allows the engine to shift, and whenever you pick it up to change one mount out or the other. Is it wrong? Not necessarily. I mean, yes, the motor can shift, but also for me, it just seems to work out easier for me that whenever I do loosen both sides, it allows the engine to pivot and pick up like I need it to, for me just to pick the mount up and take it out. Versus sometimes if I just leave one side tight, I don't know, it's really a crapshoot, to be honest with you. I mean, this right here just fits right into the engine cast iron piece, and that bolts of the frame. You've seen how easy it came out. It's pretty simple. So in summary, if you're just going to change the driver's side out, leave the passenger side alone. I'm changing driver and passenger side, so I went ahead and loosened them all up. But if you're just going to change the passenger side, leave the driver's side tight. You get what I'm saying. As far as the whole argument, if you loosen both sides, that's going to allow the engine to shift. I mean, really? You want to come up with that argument? Look at that right there. You think that engine didn't shift in any way? Then wasn't nothing lined up right. And whenever you got a bad mount like that, it's allowing the engine to move around, shimmy around, do all kinds of weird stuff. So, I mean, for it not to line back up when you go to put a new one in, totally not surprising. So I was getting ready to change this passenger side motor mount, and I looked up my alternator and said, wait a minute, something don't look right. Yeah. See something missing? Yeah, alternator here, see, it's moving. It's supposed to be right there. Apparently I lost a bolt somewhere. Oh well, find me another bolt, put it back in. And as you see on the passenger side, life is so much easier. I've got the bolt started coming out of there. The bolt, the nut down below on that stud, I've already got it out. So pull this out. Oh, you better not. It's hitting the back of the darn alternator. Can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? Oh, come on, please. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Dude, seriously? The bolt is hitting the back of the alternator. Give me just a minute. I'm gonna try my darndest not to pull that alternator, so I'll let you know what I did here in a moment. You know, this is one of those moments when you want to say, who's the idiot that put the bolt in that direction? I'm looking at him in the camera right now. Yeah, I knew better. Whenever you put the bolt back in, and you'll see it here in a bit, put it from the firewall side the other direction. I put this engine in a long time ago, and I was being rushed that day. It's like I had every interruption you could think of going on, and yeah. Ugh. So since that bolt's hit the back of the alternator and definitely risking shorting out, I pulled the negative cable off the battery, and yeah, I'm still finagling that thing around there, trying to figure out how to get it out of there. I started to say, if I get that engine mount out of there, and with that bolt still stuck in that mount, I'm just gonna say, heck with it, just leave it. But I'm also one of those people who like to, you know, prepare for later down the road if something happens. Because honestly, I should pull that alternator, which it would not be hard, and flip that bolt the other direction. That's what I really should do. There are times my bullheadedness to do something so simple as to pull that alternator, it's like it, well, since the bottom bolt's already fallen out of it, all the thing I got left is the top bolt, so might as well do it. What I ended up doing is getting my big screwdriver, getting right at the edge of that engine mount, and kind of giving it a little wedge back that way, and it kind of popped right up out of there. So I'm really at a quandary that I really should turn that bolt around, but again, that would mean me pulling the alternator, and I really don't feel like it. I may kick myself in the tail for it later, but I'm not pulling that alternator. I'm just going to go ahead and stick that engine mount in and put it back together. So luckily I unhooked my negative cable, because look at this. My luck turned around for a little bit because the engine mount is sitting in place. Look right there, real close. The head of the engine mount bolt recessed between those two right there just enough to give me clearance to drop the engine mount in place. I'll take it all day. Put this thing back together. Phew, there we go. Now I can put it back together. Yeah, and see, that one lined up just perfect. So my power out script, if you guys learned a little something from this video, hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, leave me some cool comments down below. Peace. Later, y'all. Look at there, I got a hitchhiker. Last time I was up playing in the woods, apparently. Yep.